I have a theory that the quantum crumble comes before the quantum leap. Let's talk about it. Hey, I'm Rochelle Fox, and you are tuning in to the Mindspo podcast, and this is my I Have a Theory series. And if you have chosen to listen to this episode, then this is your sign that you are about to have a quantum leap, baby, because this episode has found you for a reason. I am here to help you through this period of transition. And I am so freaking excited for you because I know that these episodes always find the right people at the right moments in their life. And I am someone that really understands firsthand what it is like to go through the quantum crumble. What I want you to know is if it feels like everything is falling apart, if it feels like you are constantly being redirected, if you are experiencing rejection, twists, turns, trials, and everything in your life feels like it's falling upside down, my friend, you are not going crazy. You are in the quantum crumble. And this happens because everything is about to get so good in your life that you don't even know how good it is going to be. So let's talk about the quantum crumble and why it happens. When you go through a quantum leap, it is literally you moving from one timeline to another timeline. It is you shifting from your current reality to an elevated future reality. And this happens because if you are manifesting, if you are calling in your dream life, if you are someone that is aligned with your highest timeline, it means that you are going to have to transition from where you are right now to where you are meant to be. And sometimes this transition, it isn't pretty. Sometimes it can feel really smooth, but a lot of the time, if you are having a quantum leap, it is going to be a bumpy ride. And it often feels like everything is falling to shit. It feels like everything is crumbling. It feels unexplainable and sometimes a little bit absurd. And this happens because the universe literally needs to crumble everything in your current reality so that you can rise up and match with this elevated future reality that you have been calling in. And the thing that is difficult when we are going through this is sometimes it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense why certain things need to fall away, why certain people need to leave our lives, why certain things that we thought were meant for us are just no longer aligned. And this is because I really do not think as human beings, we fully understand what is right for us and what is not right for us. I think sometimes out of habit, out of programming, and out of a sense of some kind of familiarity, we keep things in our life that are no longer aligned. And we stay in these patterns, these relationships, and maybe even sometimes these soul contracts way longer than we need to. And when you literally say to the universe, I am ready for my highest timeline. I am ready to live a life beyond my wildest dreams. I am ready to embody the things that I have had in my heart and on my mind, and I'm ready to make these things my reality. The universe listens and it goes, okay, well, in order for that to happen, all of this needs to fade away because you can't get what you've always wanted by hanging on to everything that you currently have. Because if you don't have the things that you currently want, there is a reason why they are not in your life. And it is because somewhere in your life there is a misalignment energetically. And sometimes these energetic misalignments can be really subtle, especially when it comes to people in your life. There are people that are energetically weighing you down, and you wouldn't think they're weighing you down because you're thinking the best of them, you love them, you care about them. Maybe they're even a partner or a friend or a family member of yours or a colleague or a job. You think that these things are meant to be for you, but in their energy field, actually, maybe they are talking badly about you behind your back. Maybe they are the reason why you feel a constant source of anxiety. Maybe they are part of the reason why you haven't got to what it is that you would like to do because they are the ones that are always subtly keeping you in the place that you are not meant to be. And we can't always see these things and feel these things from a human perspective. But the universe, it is working in the spiritual. It is working in the 5D. And we are here working in the 3D. And from a 5D perspective, it just knows the energy isn't aligned. This is not what you are meant to be doing. So it clears your path. It literally crumbles and destroys things in your life that you just cannot make sense of. And if this is happening to you right now, if everything is falling down, if it feels like your current reality is crumbling before your very eyes, this is a sign that you're about to have a quantum leap. This is a sign that everything is about to get real good. And I want you to know that in this process, it is not about resisting what is crumbling. It is not about fighting for things to stay. If you can feel deeply in your soul, deeply in your heart, that actually this thing moving, this thing leaving, this thing changing is for your highest good, because you have asked for something different, because you are trying to get somewhere different than you currently are, then do not resist the crumble, because whatever you resist will persist. It will persist to stay in your life. It will persist to hang around. And you're not meant to have this thing hanging around. You're meant to let it go. And the truth is, even though you cannot explain it, even though it doesn't make logical sense, it is not meant to be in your life. You are meant to let it go. Now, this is hard. And I want to acknowledge that this is hard, because I know firsthand that sometimes when we are in this process of crumbling and everything feels like it is just leaving our life, all we want to do is hold on. All we want to do is grab onto the things that are familiar, is to keep the things in our life that have been there for a long time. And the thing that I want you to know is that what is coming is so much better than what is going. What is coming into your life is so much richer than what is leaving. And you really need to learn to trust the universe in this process. And there is a beautiful book by Gabrielle Bernstein that I absolutely love, and it is called The Universe Has Your Back. And if you're listening to this podcast right now, that is my book recommendation to you. It is a beautiful, spiritually aligned book. Gabrielle Bernstein is one of my favorite authors. And it is a book that I always go back to whenever I feel like things are crumbling and I need to remind myself that there is a higher power that is looking after me, that there is someone that knows what is best for me, and that I am actually in relationship with this higher power. And if I truly believe that the universe has the best for me, if I truly believe that my manifestations can come true and that miracles can come into my life, then I have to lean on a higher power. Then I have to stop trying to control everything, and I have to surrender. And this is the thing about the universe. It works in ways that we will never understand. It helps you, it supports you in ways that will never make logical sense. But if you are someone that is manifesting, if you are someone that has a connection with your spirituality, with a higher power, if you are someone that is calling in desires into your reality, then know that the universe is listening. It is doing its work. And sometimes that work isn't pretty. Sometimes that work makes no sense. Sometimes that work makes you want to bang your head against the wall and go, why? Why is this happening? It does not make sense. But trust me, it will all make sense eventually. Trust me, it will all fall into place eventually, but you have to move through the crumble to get to the other side. So I want to give you some more signs that you are in the process of a quantum crumble. You are moving towards your quantum leap, because whenever I am in this process of everything falling down, I really rely on these little tips and tricks that I'm going to give you to keep myself sane and just to know that everything is working out for the best case scenario. So one of the first signs, apart from everything feeling like it is falling to shit, which isn't a fun sign, but it's a really good sign that you are in a quantum leap. My other sign that I have for you is things feel confusing and you just don't quite understand why they are happening, and you feel like you are on an unknown path. It is when things start to get rocky, things start to get uncertain, things just take weird twists and turns. I want you to imagine that you are literally walking in a forest and you've known this forest for very many years, you've known the path, and then all of a sudden you end up at a fork in the road and you take this new path and you're like, what is going on? How do I get back to the old path? Why is everything new? I'm a little bit freaked out. It's starting to get dark. I'm feeling kind of scared. I'm feeling really uneasy, and things just do not feel normal. Now, in this metaphor of you being in a forest, chances are if that happens, you want to run. You want to run back to the familiar path. You want to get off the path that you're on, and you just start freaking out. And for me, when this happens in my reality, my 3D reality, I quite often have the same response. I want to get the frick off the new path. I want to run away. I want to get back to the familiar. And this is where you start fighting the timeline. Because what has happened here is the universe has actually put a fork in your path. And the fork in your path is your new timeline. It is the new direction that you're going in. But as you are moving in that new direction, it is going to feel unfamiliar. It is going to feel a little scary. It is going to feel uneasy. But your job while you are on this new path is just to trust that this new path is going to lead you to your highest timeline. And even though it feels weird, even though it doesn't make sense right now, and even though you might not know why it's happening, the key is to trust and just keep following this new path. Every single time that I have done this in my life, every single time I have just surrendered and I've kept walking on the new path, even if it didn't make sense, beautiful, magical things have happened because I've literally opened myself up to new possibilities. Because when you are on a familiar path, when you just keep doing the same things and you're in the same reality and everything is the same, you know what's going to happen. You know things are safe. You know things are familiar. But when you take a turn and you walk down a new path or things start changing, that is when you might see a new animal. That is when you might run into new people. That is when you might be led to a completely different destination. So trust the new path that you are on. Don't judge it. Just be open to the experiences. Be curious. Have your wits about you, of course. Always have your wits about you when you're walking on a new path, whether it be physically or metaphorically, but just keep walking. Stay open, stay curious, and just trust that you are going to be led to a beautiful destination, even if you don't exactly know how you're going to get there. Now, my second sign is that you are going to start seeing signs. So whenever I'm going through a quantum crumble and I'm on my way to a quantum leap, there are lots of different signs and synchronicities that start showing up. This can look like 1111 on your microwave, on your phone, on your computer screen. It can look like seeing a specific bird or color that really means something to you. This could mean pulling a very specific card out of a deck or seeing a specific quote or post. To me, these are all signs that things are shifting, things are changing. And for me, I am not actually someone that is addicted to signs. And I know there's a lot of people out there in the spiritual and personal development space that will always tell you to rely on signs, and they're very, very big on signs. I've never really been someone that's crazy on signs, and I actually think that this has worked to my benefit because I'm not looking for the signs. I'm not focusing on the signs. I'm not generally asking for signs either. But when things are shifting, when things are going through a crumble and a leap is about to happen, I start seeing signs everywhere. It is relentless. And the reason I'm literally doing this episode for you today is I am seeing signs nonstop. I have been going through a big crumble in business and life and a lot of things over quite a few months. And it has really been in the last few weeks that things are starting to expand. Things are starting to get so much better. I'm seeing signs. I'm seeing synchronicities. I'm starting to feel that connection. I feel like I've been walking on a really unknown path for quite some time, and things have been foggy, things have been confusing, and now everything is starting to get better. And even though things aren't exactly where I would like them to be just yet, I'm just trusting the process. I'm trusting the signs. I'm trusting that everything is lining up. And I'm just really practicing having a calm nervous system and connecting to my higher self, the higher power, the universe, and just knowing, all right, I know you've got this. I know you've been crumbling everything for a reason. I'm not going to judge it. I'm not going to turn around. I'm going to keep going on the path. And thank you. Thank you for showing me the signs. And this is actually something I always do. I always thank my higher power, my guides, whatever it is, whatever you call it for yourself. I think we all have a different name for the things that we connect with, the universe, God. I just say thank you. Thank you for the sign. I received it. Thank you. I see it. I hear it. I feel it. I know you've got my back. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I feel like the more you do that, the more you strengthen your relationship with the universe, with God, with a higher power, the more I find the signs are meaningful. Because I'm not thanking the universe every single time I see 1111 or every single time I see like a pretty color. But I am thanking it in the moments that I know in my heart that it's a sign for me. Because I think when you see something and you just know, oh, I was really doubting myself, or oh, I've been really struggling, or oh, I needed someone to just be here with me in this moment and tell me it's all going to work out. those are the moments for me that I see the signs and that I feel that the signs that I'm seeing are aligned with me and what I'm looking for. My third tip for you when you're going through a quantum crumble on the way to your quantum leap is to not get caught up in everything falling to shit, which I know can be really difficult. So what you want to do here is you want to notice the things that are falling away, but then you really want to notice everything that is working out. So start to notice what I like to call the silver linings, the things that are working out, the things that are flowing, the things that you do have to be grateful for. And this doesn't always have to be new things. And I think that when we think about the idea of a quantum leap, sometimes we think about absolutely everything in our life changing, but sometimes it can just be like one specific area. And in those cases, I really rely on the things that have been flowing, the things that I have maybe taken for granted in my life, in my career. I quite often, when I'm going through these moments, really think about my team and I think about my business and I think about the incredible people that I have met in my life that are still around and have been around for years and are always there to support me and are always going through all of the different changes with me. And I really start to pour into the things that would otherwise be taken for granted. And I start to thank the universe that these things are in my life, that they are part of my reality. Because it's so easy to forget about the things that we've always had access to the people that have been there with us for years, or to the situations that just seem normal but actually are really abnormal. One example for me is I am always thanking the universe that I have a job that allows me to work remotely. It is something that I've had for over a decade, and it is something that I know so many people are manifesting and trying to make their reality. So I'm always saying thank you so much. Like, even going through a challenge and something in my life, thank you for allowing me to have this freedom. Thank you for allowing me to have this remote work. I appreciate you so much. This was something that was once on my vision board that is now my reality. And the more you can find the silver linings of not only the new things that are coming into your life, but also the things that are old, that are familiar, I feel like the more you're going to move into a new timeline. And this is very, very true for me, because I have found that sometimes when it comes to a quantum crumble, we can actually stop ourselves from getting to the quantum leap. And I don't want to say this to scare you, but this has happened to me a few times where I have gotten so overwhelmed by the quantum crumble and so stuck in the quantum crumble and so negative that I've actually missed the opportunity to leap to the new timeline. Because rather than focusing on what's flowing, what's working out, I get so fixated on the problems and things that are falling apart that I just don't allow myself to be open to the new possibilities. And when this happens, I personally believe that you delay the quantum leap. It's not that you're not going to have the quantum leap. It's not that it isn't going to happen eventually, but it's probably going to be delayed because you are now stuck in the crumble. You are now stuck in the everything is falling to shit story. You are now stuck in the best is behind me reality. And as you know from listening to this podcast, you create your own reality. So what you focus on expands. And if you stay in that negative mindset and you start feeling those negative emotions and you get yourself stuck in a loop, you can really get stuck in the crumble and you can miss the quantum leap. And my last tip for you is a little bit of an unconventional one, but it is one that I'm doing right now, and it is one that works magic. If you feel like you've been stuck for quite some time and you're ready to leap into your newest timeline, if you're ready to feel better than ever before, I want you to know that you can actually plan your quantum leap. I know that sounds crazy, but here is the thing. I really do believe that sometimes it is our set and setting, it is our place, it is where we are that makes us feel stuck. And if you are always around the things that make you feel familiar, if you are around certain people and situations that are keeping you in a certain kind of loop and a certain kind of thinking, sometimes you just need to break free from your physical reality and get somewhere else. Now, I am actually doing this right now. So I have been in a quantum crumble, as I mentioned, for a little while. And while things have gotten better, I have known that there are a lot of things that are falling apart in various different areas of my reality because things are being rebuilt. And I asked for this. This was something that I called in. And although I didn't call it in the way that it's been happening, I'm really, really grateful for the crumble. And it takes me a lot to say that because There have been some things for me personally that have not been easy, but I'm grateful because I know everything is always going to work out for the best case scenario, because it always does, because the best is always yet to come. This is my reality. This is what I've always experienced. And we all go through hard times. We all go through hard chapters. And it's not what happens to us that really creates our reality. It's how we respond to what happens to us. It is our attitude and how we show up every single day and our level of trust that really creates deep transformation. And something that can really help you with your attitude and your energy is getting to a new place physically. And this is a tip that I have for you that works wonders for me every single time. If you have been stuck in a quantum crumble and you are ready to leap out and change things, what you can do is you can schedule a trip that is your quantum leap. It is your portal timeline shift. And I know this sounds a little bit esoteric, but just hear me out. Choose a destination. It can be somewhere completely new or somewhere that you've been before. The only rule is that it has to be somewhere that elevates your energy and calms your nervous system. And when you go to this place, you have to tell yourself that this is a portal. This is a timeline shift. This is literally a lever that you are turning from one reality to the next. And when you take this trip, it is your responsibility to show up differently. Not only mentally, physically, spiritually, you have to be a different version of yourself. You have to show up as a new version of yourself. You have to do the work to not let that old reality that is no longer aligned be with you in this new reality. That might look like not taking anyone you know with you. It might look like turning off your phone, putting on do not disturb. It is about completely disconnecting from everything that is weighing you down, that is getting you stuck, and being in a new place, not only physically, but mentally, spiritually, and energetically. And when you do this, what you do is you signal to the universe, I'm ready to change. I'm ready to shift. I am so done with the old reality. I am completely accepting the crumble, and I am going through a shift. I am elevating, I am changing, I am moving to a new timeline. And this day, right here, right now, this trip is my declaration that I am ready for whatever it is that you have in store for me. And while you are at this place, I want you to keep saying things like the best is yet to come. Everything is working out for me. It is only getting better. Like, brainwash yourself and do things that really fill up your cup. So go for morning walks. Go out in nature, listen to music that you love, like be in a completely elevated vibration, eat amazing food, just really immerse yourself in good energy. I am actually doing this right now. I am staying in a place called Bellingen, which is a beautiful country town in New South Wales. And I knew that I had this road trip coming up for around about a month and a half. And I knew that if I booked this trip, if I planned it out, if I did this road trip, that I could use this trip as a portal. And I gotta tell you, ever since I got here, the portal has been activated. I literally got to Bellingen just over 24 hours ago. And since I arrived, I have had 2 brand new translation rights for my book, Magnetic. The first 2 that I have ever gotten in Asia. I am now up to 15 translation rights. I've just said yes to a Vietnamese translation right for Magnetic. And I've also said yes to a Thai translation right. And all of that happened on the way up here. All of that happened on the road trip. Not only that, I'm seeing things shift in our business a little bit as well in certain areas that I was really hoping and praying would shift. And I'm starting to notice synchronicities. I'm seeing 1111 everywhere. I'm seeing my favorite kind of birds everywhere. I'm having this feeling in my heart where I just feel a deep sense of ease where there was a little bit of anxiety for a while. And I'm just excited. I'm aligned. I just feel like, you know what? Everything is happening for the best case scenario. Everything is working out. And I just have to keep showing up as this elevated version of myself. And I got to tell you, I hate to say it, but sometimes it is better to be the elevated version of yourself when you disconnect to reconnect, when you get away from everything that is familiar and you just get to a place that allows you to open up to expand. And this can be a day trip. This can be a road trip. This can just be booking a hotel room. It can be camping. It can be anything that you choose it to be, but just choose something and treat it as your portal. Treat it as your time to transition from the old vibration to a new vibration, and trust when you are in the transition that everything is working out for the best case scenario. Because as I'm going to keep telling you, the best is yet to come for you. You are the one that is creating your reality. And if you're listening to the Mindspo podcast this year, I know that everything that is crumbling, everything that you think is falling apart, it is literally falling apart for your highest timeline. You have no idea how good things are going to get. And even if it feels like nothing makes sense right now, I want you to remember this Steve Jobs quote that always helps me connect and trust, which is sometimes you cannot connect the dots going forward, but you can always connect the dots when you look back. So just trust that the dots are going to connect. Trust that everything is going to fall into place because you, my friend, are the creator of your reality. So go out there and make some freaking magic. I will see you in the next one.